Whoa, what a Monday. What a Monday show we've got planned for you. It is Orange and Blue today. Cecil, Lammey, Andrew Mason. I'm not a smoker, Mace, but I thought about having a cigarette after last night's game.
But are you a joker or a midnight toker?
Maybe some of all of that. Yes.
Do some people call you Space Cowboy?
I've been called the heavy metal cowboy, but I'll take Space Cowboy too. Man, what a game, dude. Wow. Words don't even describe it.
I mean, for 3/4 of that game, they were like sewage water. And here's the thing, Cease. The drive that they had to get within 26-16, it's not like they were moving down the field in a great hurry. There were 8 plays on that drive where the clock was running between snaps, and on 5 of them, they huddled. Like, that was the interesting thing. Like, they were down 26-8, and they weren't in any particular rush. So it was almost like dare I say they weren't really, I hate to say it, they didn't really believe they could come back. But Pat Surtain did say he felt like things that was lost, basically. He lost hope. But certainly the way they were going about it on that drive when they were down 26-8, it felt very much like they were thinking, let's just get a drive here. Let's get into the end zone. Let's get some positive momentum here going into next week. And then, to me, the biggest play obviously was Jackson Dart climbing the pocket out of pressure. There are 2 things he could have done that would have been just fine. He could have taken off and run, or he could have taken the sack, and he chose option 3, which was trying to just loft it to Theo Johnson, who did have a step on Pat Surtain there.
Right. And
he didn't get enough on it, and Justin Sternad and to his credit and to the defense's credit, he said, hey, they noticed this. It's something that they'd kind of worked on. He dropped into coverage, and there wasn't enough on the ball, and that was the play. Like, that was the moment where all of a sudden you're like, oh my goodness, they can really do this. Like, right. Until that moment, it was you're kind of looking at, they've used their timeouts. They only have 1 timeout left, and I think in my mind, I'm doing the math on it. It's like, okay, you get a punt, they get a drive here, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal. Realistically, it's like this is going to require an onside kick. And what are their percentages of an onside kick? They were roughly 7% last year. So that's why, until that interception, you're not really thinking realistically that this is something that could happen. Sternad's interception is what all of a sudden changed it. Like, oh my goodness, this could actually happen. And it basically was the type of comeback that literally, in terms of 6 minutes to go, being down by 18 had never been seen in the NFL before. Marvelous.
And I've seen a lot of football, and we've never seen something like this. And I've said it last night on the post game. I watched your very good, robust post game report from the field. Bo Nix is clutch, and you can't coach that, man. We got a lot to talk about this entire week of all the things this team needs to change. We've got some Dre Greenlaw news for later in the show. But my first takeaway, Mason, I think it might be the biggest takeaway, is that guy's clutch. Number 10, you're never out of it. Never out of it with 10 on the field.
Yeah. Imagine if he could play the first 3 quarters the way he's playing the fourth. Just to kind of go through it here, and this is for the whole offense, okay? In terms of generating first downs, the Broncos so far this season, the first 3 quarters, their first down rate sits at 28th in the NFL. Woof. That's bad, right?
Yep.
In the fourth quarter, 3rd. So in the first 3 quarters of games, only 21.4% of plays are resulting in first downs. In the fourth quarter, that goes up to 28.4%. Actually, that's not 3rd, my bad. It's tied for 2nd. Only the Rams are better. So they literally go from near the very bottom to right near the top of the league in terms of first down rate. Yards per play, they are let me just see here real quick. I've actually got the Excel file right here. Yards per play, they are 23rd. They're 23rd in the league. It looks like, according to this, in the first 3 quarters. And then in the fourth quarter, they shoot up to 3rd in yards per play.
Wow.
I mean, like, a completely different unit in the fourth quarter. And this is the whole season. This isn't just the last 3 games. This is all the way through.
Right.
Like,
and it doesn't hold up against like prevent defense, you know what I mean? Because the Giants stopped playing that. Although we know what was it, Beard after the game,
Burns.
Burns. Sorry, excuse me. He was Burns. He was hey, dropping 8, effing dropping 8. So yeah, Bo Nix going downfield more too late in this game.
Yeah, going downfield more. Everything was more effective in the fourth quarter than it was in the first 3 quarters.
So why do they take till fourth quarter to do that?
But the thing is, it's not just a function of like the coverages they're getting. I mean, go back to week 1, right? Against the Titans. They get the explosive from RJ Harvey. They get the 50-yard run there in the fourth quarter. And then J.K. Dobbins rips one off for the touchdown there. Like, it's, you're seeing it's over the course of the whole season that you're seeing it become more effective. That's why I basically took the entire 7 games here. It's like, okay, what's going on? Why are they generally ineffective early, and why are they effective late? So it did come up, and I'll give credit to our old friend DMAC for asking this, and this brought a quick end to the conference call on Monday morning, asking about play calling responsibilities. Here's the question, and here's Sean Payton's very terse answer.
Coach, speaking of play calling, just to mix things up, have you had any consideration whatsoever to hand the play calling off, even for a short period of time, to get a different rhythm in the game?
No, I think we're comfortable as an offensive staff of how we're operating.
Okay, then. I think we're comfortable as an offensive staff. I mean,
if there's ever a hell no in an answer, that's what that hell no is.
That's what that was. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's don't get your hopes up for a change there.
When Ben DiNucci's tweeting about Davis Webb calling plays, like, sorry, Ben, that ain't going to happen.
Yeah, that did get everybody's spidey sense up when that came up during the game, when the Nuke put that out there. So, little inside baseball behind the scenes. When you're covering a game, whether you're writing a recap or you're doing a video, or in my case, both, you're making notes during the game, and obviously when there's a game like this, everything changes at the end, but you're always starting to work on what your report will be during the game that you're covering. And sometimes you're even working on research and things like that during the week, like a number that may end up coming up. So as the game is progressing, I'm going back to something I researched in the week leading up to it. And it's 19-0, then it's 26-8, and it's not going well. And I was ready to go forth with some numbers that I'm going to share with you here, okay? So, like, for example, Broncos ranking or Sean Payton's offense's ranking in DVOA, his last 3 seasons with Drew Brees as quarterback, 5th, 4th, and 7th. And then, since then, 26th in 2021, 19th in 23, 16th and 24th, and through week 6, 18th. And it's a very similar story in EPA per play, success rate, total offense, net yards per possession. Basically, across the board, there's a pretty clear line of demarcation in terms of quite effective with Drew Brees and then not so much post Drew Brees. And that was going to be That was going to be the story if things had not turned around in the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, things did turn around in a big way in the fourth quarter, and the Broncos got the dub. But until there's consistent play throughout the game, I think the concerns aren't going away. And look, I mean, and it's not like concerns aren't there about the state of the offense and even the defense and how it played in the first three quarters. It's not like concerns aren't there within the building today. I mean, the debriefing, as they call it, it wasn't all smiles and sunshine. I mean, they were feeling good last night, but 3 quarters of the film that they watched, the first 3 quarters of it was unpleasant. Here's Quinn Miners talking about the Monday debriefing.
Yeah, I think we need to get sharper with our details. After watching the film, you see just tons of yards left out there, and that's why football is such a great sport. You got to have all 11 on the same page, doing their thing. So I think there were too many plays, obviously in the first 3 quarters, that we were one thing away from having a more explosive play and stuff like that, and then you were able to see in the fourth quarter when we were humming and everyone was doing their job, what we're capable of doing. So that's just something that we can't accept as an offense, because right now we've been a not so good offense, and so we got to have that mentality, in that fourth quarter comeback of, we were just kind of like, whatever, screw it. We got to go put some drives together and try to get some points. We got to have that mentality kind of going into games, starting fast, and being able to put ourselves into better positions, because for the last 2 weeks on offense, we haven't been able to put ourselves in good positions.
Okay, then how do you get that screw it mentality in the first 3 quarters?
Right from the jump.
Yeah.
You're comfortable with what you're doing. If you're in a screw it mentality, you're just like, let's just do what we do best. Let's just do what we like to do.
Okay. What does this team do best? When are they at their best?
The end of the game.
And what are they doing at the end of the game? At the end of the first half, they're going tempo, right?
And Sean doesn't want to talk about it. He said it last night. I don't want you to hear about tempo.
Okay. He doesn't want to hear it, but
it's right there.
It's right there staring them in the face. They are more effective when they go up tempo. They just are. Bo Nix is more comfortable when they go up tempo. They put pressure on. Everything hums. Yes, you do increase your defensive exposures when you go up tempo. You turn the entire game flow changes when you go up tempo. There's no denying that. And yes, you can't substitute as much. You can't get the perfect personnel group for every play. And oh well. You have to then change. Okay, then you change the types of plays you call. The other thing is also you have to look at the personnel groups that you have, and maybe you have to sacrifice some things to get the right to have the best personnel groups who can do the most things. Okay, that you won't have the perfect personnel group because you have to leave guys out there, but you have a personnel group that can do the most things, that is the most versatile. Okay? So, for example, Marvin Mims Jr. ranked 3rd in snaps among wide receivers, third behind Cortland Sutton and Troy Franklin. I think we can agree if you're going with a base formation or a base personnel group, if you're going with a base personnel group that you'd use for a package or a possession when you're going tempo, Cortland Sutton almost certainly is out there because he's your wide receiver 1. Okay. Yeah. But wouldn't you want to have Marvin Mims Jr. out there because of the number of things that he can do, because he can get involved in the running game as well? I mean, remember when you went incomplete to start the game, and then finally the first thing you got going was you had Marvin Mims sweeping around, right?
Yep.
Okay. But Marvin Mims Jr. isn't the ideal body type of a Sean Payton receiver. But
Sorry.
he can do more things. Like, you gotta, Sean Payton may have to let go of some notions that he holds dear in order to get the most out of this offense based on the players that he has at his disposal.
Yep, and look at the clear outs that Mims could run. That final play, the big one to Sutton down the middle, not the final play on the left that they had just drawn up Saturday. The final play in the middle, that's Marvin running a clear out and then stopping his route, turning around, and the ball's right there.
Yeah.
That's a pass intended for Court. So it's clearing out, it's the run game, it's the big playability, it's everything with Marvin. I think Marvin, who's only played in over 50% of the snaps twice this year.
Yeah.
Can we both agree it's not working with Troy right now? 10 targets yesterday, 3 catches.
He's still developing. It's not all the way there.
Which is fine.
Point.
It's year 2.
Fine.
We're
year
not
2.
saying he's a bust or anything. It's just right now it's not as sharp as you need it to be.
Marvin simply does more things and does them at a higher level. Okay, maybe he's not the big body type, which means he's probably not as effective as a blocker, but he's a willing blocker. I mean, he sticks his nose in, and he's got that dog in him as well. I love the edge and the attitude with which he plays.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the other thing also, if you have Mims out there, so you sacrifice some size and maybe a little bit of blocking ability, then at tight end, perhaps that means maybe you have to go Troutman a little bit more because maybe you need more of the all-around. Evan Engram had a pretty decent game catching the ball, although, again, that he is who he is now. He's roughly 7, 8, 9 yards a catch. Kind of, he is who he is. He's not stretching the field anymore. That's fine, but it'll go back to the conversation that we're going to have unless the Broncos pick up a tight end at the trade deadline. They're going to have to fish for a game-changing type tight end.
Could have drafted Ronde Gatson.
Yeah, I mean, well, you can't play the what if game in the draft anymore. You and I both know that was the one thing that they didn't cross off the checklist last year in the draft, this past spring in the draft, that they should have. That they didn't get a tight end from that great class, and instead they waited into the 7th round and they picked a developmental guy, and it was what it was. I mean, if you want to get that guy in next year's draft, there's probably one guy who's first-round talent, and that's Kenny and Sadiq, and you're probably going to have to trade up to get him. So, is what it is. But this is where they are right now. But because if you put Mims out there in kind of this base package that to try to get the group that can do the most things, you might need Troutman as your tight end a little more than Evan Engram, and that's fine. And then your third receiver, it can sort of depend what you're trying to do on the series. If you're maybe looking to stretch the field vertically more, it can be your Troy Franklin. If you're looking to provide a little more support in the running game, perhaps it's Pat Bryant as a blocker. And maybe on a series where it's Pat Bryant as a blocker, then you go Evan Engram on the inside. And then if you've got a series with Troy Franklin, maybe you go Adam Troutman on the inside there. There are things you can kind of move around. But anyway, if you're going, whatever you're going with, I'd say probably, I think Marvin Mims Jr. would want to be in whatever package you're going to have for a full series if you're going to go up-tempo because of the number of things that Marvin can do.
It is Orange and Blue Today, presented by Ramos Law, ramoslaw.com. Mace, before we're out of here, let's talk Dre Greenlaw. Not the news we wanted to hear.
Well, first we need to hear from our friends at Ramos Law.
Today's episode of Orange and Blue Today is presented by Ramos Law, the official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. Ramos Law was founded by Dr. Joseph Ramos, an attorney and ER doctor, to provide exceptional care to those injured in accidents. With a unique understanding of both medicine and law, the Ramos Law team is built to fight for you every step of the way. Experience the Ramos Law difference. Contact them today at ramoslaw.com.
Dre Greenlaw suspended without pay for a game for yelling at a ref.
Yeah, it was actually captured on video, and it's out there on social media after Will Lutz's game-winning kick went through.
Ugh.
Dre Greenlaw finding referee Brad Allen and giving him what appears to be a little bit more than a piece of his mind.
The business.
Yeah, that in the words of the late Ben Dreith, giving him the business. Yes, that's.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I hate to lose him. He's just back. Like, you're thinking about using him more. What did he play? Like 20
21.
Snaps, whatever it was?
21
And
snaps.
6 tackles and 21 snaps. Like, you want to see more of that. You're thinking, maybe it's 40 snaps next time or whatever that number is. And now we have a lack of discipline play. Emotions are running high. You were in that building.
Yeah.
Everyone was on one after the way that thing went back and forth. Not making excuses for him, Mace. He's a veteran. He should know better. It's his first game back. I understand why he's excitable, though. But this one's going to sting, especially when we're looking at Javonte Williams and Jake Ferguson next week for inside linebackers to deal with.
Jake Ferguson had 2 touchdowns on Sunday.
Jake Ferguson, who's had more receptions and touchdowns in the first 7 games in NFL history at a tight end.
Yeah.
Like, it's craziness what Jake Ferguson is doing.
Javonte Williams, who had a 100-yard rushing game on Sunday.
Yep, feeling himself, and now you're going to be without your heat-seeking missile that was Dre Greenlaw. I liked what the limited stuff he did, Mace. I liked what I saw from him.
Yeah, in those snaps, he was the Dre Greenlaw that you expected him to be. All over the place as advertised, bringing the thump. I mean, that was what you signed him for. Wrecking things. I mean, but oh boy. Unfortunate.
Yes.
And of course, Alex Singleton was trailing in coverage on an early touchdown. I mean, you expect the Cowboys to go at Alex Singleton just like the Eagles did when they got Saquon Barkley one-on-one against him.
And with CeeDee Lamb back, you couldn't put PS2 on Ferguson. So George Pickens is going to work against Riley Moss. Jake Ferguson's going to work on those linebackers. It's a much tougher task than a rookie quarterback and a rookie running back this week.
Indeed. Dallas Cowboys, by the way, so far this season, in terms of what they've put up on the board, they've got 3 games with 40-plus points so far this season.
Woo.
Although aided by a defensive touchdown yesterday with Deron Bland's pick 6 there in the third quarter. So getting some help there, but a markedly different challenge. And I mean, just an example to go back to when we started the show, the biggest play of the Broncos rally, of course, Jackson Dart making the ill-advised move to step up and Justin Sternad picking him off. That's not the kind of mistake you're going to receive from Dak Prescott, a veteran quarterback. So
right,
the equation does change markedly in this game. So your next few games, you got wins over the Jets and Giants, and now you've got the Cowboys and then the Texans and then the Raiders on Thursday night after that, and then the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are looking pretty good. Although they are 1 game behind the Broncos. They are the first place Broncos. You feel good about that. The Broncos have done what they should do against subpar teams. They've gotten dubs. So there are a lot of things to like. And 5-2 is probably about where they should be. I mean, you can say that they are, they're very close to being 2-5, but they're also very close to being 7-0. So somewhere in between, it's probably about right. So it's not an illegitimate 5-2 in any way, shape, or form. But as yesterday showed, there are still some uncomfortable truths for this team that they need to face if they want to truly live up to all they can be.
We'll be here for all of it for you. It is Orange and Blue today. Cecil, Lammey, Andrew, Mason. Mace, before we're out of here, how can folks help us out on YouTube?
Like,
comment,
share,
subscribe,
hit that notification bell.
So that you
never miss
a vid.
vid.
That's right. He's Andrew Mason. You follow him on all the socials at Mace Denver. I'm at Cecil Lammey saying OBT's BFD. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, and would you please stay